Here's a Sunia Shift for when you can't hear yourself. You're not fine, you're feral. And maybe being feral isn't such a bad thing. Maybe being feral is where you get to discover some of your instinctual and primal nature. Somewhere along the way, someone convinced you that it was a problem to be feral, that you should be clean and tidy and not ravenously crave the deepest expression of who you are. You've been functioning and nailing it, doing incredible. But you've been managing your feelings like containers and inboxes, sorting, suppressing, color coding, get to it later. I'm not going to tell you how to feel. You already know. I'm going to give you the opening to give yourself permission to get feral for just a little while, to return to hearing your instinctual nature. You're not lost. You're weaving in and out of this and that. Somebody told you it was wrong. Somebody told you it was wrong to get off the path and back on the path. They didn't have the bigger picture. You didn't have the bigger picture yet. And maybe you weren't supposed to. Who knows? We're not going to analyze that today. What we are going to do is give ourselves permission to return to our feral nature, our instinctual knowing that doesn't have to be so clean and tidy and controlled. Take a breath. Isn't your voice beautiful? Isn't the way that you think when nobody's around wonderful? Wouldn't it be so incredible to have somebody understand what you meant in the way that you said it and had them be lingering in admiration over things like trees and paper and the subtleties of life that we love and that bring us so much joy, but we skip past because it's not productive? What if slowing down in admiration is what will speed us up? The beautiful thing is we don't need to define it, but we can begin to contemplate it, to give ourselves permission to check if we need to change the course of the way that we see, think, and act. Take back our autonomy, take back our power of, no, I don't accept that belief. No thank you. And be feral in that, and be in your absolute, no, that's not for me. And give yourself permission for that. It's not mean. It's not cruel. It's not cruel to the other person. It's you're allowed to be in your own experience of life and still live in a resonance with kindness or of kindness. It's okay that you've been absorbing everything and forgetting that you're a sponge. It's okay. Nobody said that it's wrong to feel so deeply. Maybe they did. But it's okay that you thought it was wrong. And it's okay that you've been frozen in being like, I should feel 10% less, maybe 7% here. I should feel a little bit more over there. If I could just think a little bit more positively here, then it would all be fine. Maybe you and your beautiful and wonderful feral self right now can become feral again, right now. Yes, embody this energy of I can, I will, I must, I'm allowed, I can take up space. I can hear my own voice and I can trust myself in acting on that, and I don't have to explain anything. There's a difference between being rigid and a difference between being in your knowing. And I already know that you know that, so don't go off on a tangent of I'm allowed to say no. They will feel it if you're being stingy or petty about it, which you might, and that's okay. Enjoy the ride back to your center, because always we will eventually return to our center of when we feel the most peaceful to act from. And on our way there, it can feel like we're on fire and it's horrible and like we're dying and like nothing is working out for us. Maybe that's part of the plan. Maybe it just is. Maybe we can just let it be and still keep our sight on where we want to go and how we want to be. And if the pressure ever gets too much of this and that and I can't decide, maybe we can begin to take inventory of what we're willing to pour our energy into and what we need to stop pouring our energy into. Simple as that. Of, oh, I need to start sculpting. Chipping a little of this out, chipping a little of that. And the arrival is that it's literally about the journey. So it's not about, okay, once I chisel, then I'm there. No, your feral nature is in the process of rigidity, of softness, of beauty, of rage, of admiration. It's all of that. Peace also is an anger. Can you appreciate what your anger and your rage is telling you? Is it wanting you to come back alive? Is it wanting you to come back alive and feel? Permission to feel. Permission to not be so neat and tidy and nice and good. Ugh. Yeah, that's okay that you don't want to be that today. You're still a really damn good person though. And you still matter and you still have purpose on this earth if you don't want to keep doing it the same way. Evolve. Give yourself permission to evolve. Give others permission to evolve. Give others permission to stand in their most instinctual, powerful self. This isn't about really arriving at an answer in this contemplation. It's about standing in your knowing that the answer, in whatever way it's supposed to, will come. And that your voice, your beautiful, powerful voice that you've kept suppressed when you had that gut hit, or that you kept quiet because you're like, maybe like my art or what I was gonna wear, maybe that's too much. I'll just like go soften it. Yeah, it's all right. You softened. It's okay. Did it feel good? Did you need to soften? Maybe you did, and maybe the acknowledgement here is that you needed to go be alone for a while, and that you just thought you had to keep saying that, oh, I just was like too embarrassed. No, maybe you knew that you needed to go sit and just not talk for a little while. Maybe you're healing. You don't have to explain, and you don't have to always be one way. That is feral nature. That is instinctual nature. You already know. Your voice already knows. Your voice is your medicine. It is how you harmonize in life. And so I want you to right now start to imagine, if I had the confidence and the fierceness to start to speak from my power, what would I say? Would I even be doing the things that I'm doing at all? No, maybe I do like what I'm doing. Maybe I can give myself more credit. Maybe I can realize that if I sing more and if I dance more, that's the intelligence that I've been pushing to the side because it didn't make sense on paper. But in order for the paper of my life to work out, I have to sing more. I have to get in rhythm and drop rigidity so that all of these sharp corners can start to flow and work together. So what do you do when you can't hear yourself? What do you do? That feeling in your stomach, and you feel like you have to speak to fix something right away, or that maybe you feel this overwhelming sensation of that you've done something wrong. Maybe you've advocated for yourself, and then all of a sudden you want to take it back and feel guilty, and then you sort of make more of a mess by trying to clean up what you had the rightful feralness to say. Because being feral and being instinctual is being in your conscious power. You're not in that state. You're not wishing harm on anybody. You're not speaking down on anybody. You're speaking for the best and highest good for you and for others. So when you look at when you're feral and you want to claw your paws into the dirt and be like, I want to come back alive. Like, yeah, give yourself permission for that. And you don't even have to be wild. You can be feral in your own way. You can be feral and wash a dish if that makes you happy. But what this is is can you give yourself permission to start to use your voice and not apologize? Start to do and act and speak and be different than you've ever been and not apologize. Not rubber band your past behavior right back to you. And though, when you do, it's like a gentle release of the rubber band back. Like it came, all those thoughts of like, for me, whenever I would be like, no, I don't want to do that. Then I would have this heaping like, I've got a story of like why and my kids and blah, blah. Boring really for all parties. It actually hinders the energy for everybody involved and makes us all tired. And so now when I notice I do that, there's a way for the rubber band to go back slowly, like you're gently like, I saw you, I see you're coming. Oh, thank you. And then you just, put it back over there. So try that on when you can't hear and when the anxiety and the rumination and the consider it this like momentum, this you're like revving up your car for transformation. And sometimes that transformation is you just needed to allow the height of that sensation to hit its peak, to burn, and then you get to go to the next level. It's learning how to allow the discomfort so that you can keep giving yourself more and more and more permission to be fully who you are without hiding your feral nature, without hiding the very thing that makes you clap your hands and dance and skip and sing of, ooh, I love this so much. I know that you have that, and I'm sure that you're like, I'll just like put it in this box and smush it down a little so that people don't think I'm quite as intense. I think we've all lived long enough to be not intense, and maybe it could be fun if we all just like spiced it up a bit and really showed up with the integrity of this is who I am. I honor who you are. Maybe we can go together, maybe we can't, but we won't know if we don't fully show up and we don't fully embrace the dark parts of ourselves that we want to hide, that other humans also have. So if we stop making those things a big deal, can you imagine the energy that you would free up to create something different? It doesn't even have to be better, just a different possibility. Today, remember that you already know, and that the way to your knowing is through movement and singing and using your voice and believing and giving yourself permission to be feral, to be wild,